the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Memamo akwaba biem by Nsem-Pii TV so. Honorable Vincent Eko Asefua, the Member of Parliament for Otafo constituency. Onwa Anana former Deputy Minister for Local Government and Rural Development. Nene ode expose bi abeto abonten efa President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC Amonioko no say one-on-one interview and Honorable Vincent Eko Asefua HM say just a week NDC Amonioko no ba bemu no almost started corruption. At this time corruption no almost starting with the energy sector. And saying Nsem-Pii for Nsem-Pii Africa kaya and chair Anna Honorable John Abdullah Jinapo the Member of Parliament for Yape Kosogu constituency. Onwa NSI the Energy Minister Designate Edibetu just say former President Adakwa Akufo-Addo ne NPP aban efri so no fuwa omuja no energy sector hono entimi emma air light no engine so for more than 5 days simple if my man said me right sana Honorable Abdullah Jinapo Edibetu dwa na ana Honorable Vincent Eko Asefua HM say during air transition no na ono o meeting na asibi ana omunyina call adwen cross se kan fuel no se na kan ntimi engine so ma Ghana for emma light ntimi engine so emma Ghana for na de be na omo NDC Amonioko ma ba mu President John Dramani Mahama de be no be ya fa ana omo di tu dwa se omo akache gridco se omo goto fuel ni bi a be cost $70 million sina be ya Ghana yenwa kanea no ebegina so afebo se na Adakwa Akufo-Addo ene ne NPP aban no omuma kanea no gina so saa no enti o meeting as na transition during air transition no ana NDC Amonioko no John Dramani Mahama ni NDC Amonioko ma obi a che se enti fuel no ebe cost $70 million. After that no ana Grico enso issue statement say omo NDC Amonioko no akachom say enti light no ana yin fuel no omokoto no ebe cost $90 million, which means $20 million ana NDC Amonioko no e de aka ho after air transition meeting na omokoye no na Honorable Vincent Eko Asefua enso di tudwa say after say Grico so issue statement we na Honorable Abdullah Jinapo esa ba abonten ebe tudwa say ebe cost more than $100 million. Abom nyina ye meeting say fuel na omkokoto no ebe ma light no agina so be cost $70 million no NDC Amonioko no the more than $30 million account. And Honorable Vincent Eko Asefua HM say
everybody to attempt to make it look as if the NDC government, the NPP government is an inhumane government.
Yeah. I understand.
I don't even have the best of words to use for it. But it's just unconscionable to the list.
I see.
It's just unfortunate or unnecessary for anybody to think so. At the third transition meeting, I am told that government fuel of about $70 million.
Right.
That was the agreed amount for a certain quantity. Who is a corruption? And we are watching keenly.
And
I'll prove to you why. $70 million was the agreed amount for a certain quantity. Our transition meeting, from what I've been told. Later on, you want to use a grid coup, issue statement to be. And grid coup, per my information, was told by the NDC to make the amount $90 million.
These are serious allegations.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes,
but
you see, hold on, I'll come there. But who say John Jinapo after that came to say they are going to say $100 million?
I agree.
What John Jinapo did not want it?
No,
John Jinapo says I didn't cost about $100 million. Yes.
So it was agreed.
Let me find out the transition meeting.
I'll check it. I'll check it. Even without transition meeting.
Forget about the agreement. Forget about that agreement. That is actually the case. But why would Gridco issue a statement say $90 million? Then John Jinapo will come and talk about the fact that $100 million. Two conflicting figures at the same time.
So what is the suspicion?
But I'm telling you, so I'm saying a wild allegation. But even the ones that is on record, because transition meeting, I cannot provide you with any letter. Say this is what they agreed. But the agreement per my intel was that $70 million was agreed at the transition. And agreed Kofo was caused by the NDC to say at the end of $90 million. Now John Jinapo,
who is going to head the ministry?
The energy in an interview says at the end $100 million for the same quantity.
But you see,
but we are watching.
As of mine, we have what we call strategic stock. So the bear, BBC, now I'm letting you show them. How is it that NPP administration, with all these about them, need to make a reserve of HF4, and I say, fuel and I use to power the electric, even at doors, there was nothing like that. Why?
I did about course, when I said, energy sector, no, a very volatile sector. It's a sector, a bamboo, and I'll tell you the truth, a bamboo, as we speak, unless as a nation we find different means of generation as far as the capacity is concerned, no to be a managing sector. Apart from that, it's a sector that is managed, and I'll use that word. It's a management sector. We say, John Jinapo say, "Every council me say, work for trouble, let me buy. Now let now work for trouble, no. Now almost friend say maintenance be in October.
Yes, that's true.
And Ministry of Energy for
January. That's true.
One thing that they also failed, George Napo failed to tell the people of Ghana, and they say, at the sector, you cannot have series of maintenances at the same time, because yes, you break down the sector. So you schedule the maintenance. There were other maintenances that was going on at the same time. Yes. And when I catch you,
I want to phone him said other maintenance is going on.
Let me catch you say yes, it's an industry.
I'm not communicating among themselves.
Yes.
So if I'm packing something, no maintenance.
But remember,
also be maintenance.
But remember, Obiya business.
Right, that's true.
What I say? It is a me facility. I have to go under maintenance this time. Me na me Ministry of Energy. I'm a general superintendent. I'm a superintendent over all these facilities and as agencies, you know. What I say? Me na know who to me say meka all these shadows ni bomwa. Na say you near maintenance me ma by the be affected, and I say me Ghana for the be affected. So what we focus on more maintenance in October. Other facilities also want to do this around the same time. I will have to find out about that. That is what I heard from the Ministry of Energy. So I will get you the names very soon. Maybe from here now I'll test and get you the names. But I'm telling you on authority that your Parliament now, for the first time, will take a friend is Alban Babin, Speaker of Parliament. Me na make 8 Parliament, you know.
Of course.
Me Speaker of Parliament, ultimately, the one to be even dictating government business. Government business, majority leader, leader of government business, no, anyway. It has never happened.
Oh, but maybe it's just a suggestion.
Please,
maybe you can.
Please, stop it.
Stop it. Item available.
No.
I can suggest to you so.
You cannot suggest. It is not part of your responsibility. It is not part. I mean, I say leader of government business.
Of course, I agree.
The one who is the leader of government business,
the majority side.
Parliament, sorry, a band person in the Parliament.
That I agree.
It is all will be a minority for the back culture say senior worker, you ever to aba. But not to even allow it to be tabled. These are some of the dark times of our democracy, and unfortunately, Alban Babin is writing his name with regards to that. It's unfortunate.
I see.
As an Agunodi, he is very mischievous, with the greatest of respect. For a Speaker of Parliament to look in the faces of minority side and say it's a micro minority. When Udiagro, standing on the say, one can now watch standing on this committee. Defining what minority leader is, defining what minority caucus is. The combined effect of these definitions as per Order 6, interpretation section of the standing orders, does not know of anything called
it's not in there.
Unfortunately, he did not even apologize. I was looking forward for him to apologize.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Should have apologized for
yes, when the person could apologize, why do you do that?
Wow.
Why do you do that? We are living in a lawless state.
We are living in a lawless state.
Because the way you know say is the one seen to be leading lawlessness.
How?
Say president status or what you be here just like that.
But we are saying not so relocate.
But look at what is happening now.
And one can say
this relocation.
Let's say one country also
go to me in MP work in our laws, in our constitution, the architecture of the constitution of the Republic of Ghana. MP, who was a Canadian in my plan and as a 2 minutes for you to do this. This person.
No, but it is not the MP. Why you think the MP?
But he already gave an indication. You see, this vandalism, hooliganism of the NDC after winning an election is pathetic. Here, no Ministry of Local Government. It was about last week. I went there, and Mahama, one of my staff, will catch me say, NDC for no more tax acco District Assembly's Common Fund. And when they went there, they have stopped both political appointees and public servants from working.
I see.
They have stopped political appointees and public servants from working. Then I quickly called 2 of the public servants over there. I said, Vincent, I saw a video. VRE. I have colleagues with VRE.
Yeah.
People who have no basic qualification as far as engineering, and I said, your friend said that sector is concerned, in the name of partisan politics. Alcohol, stern warning to management of the place that the next time that they come, it will be bloody. Tax, hooliganism, and unfortunately, the NDC and this government, John Dramani Mahama, who is the leader, quiet about it. And then around 6:30, quickly, Felix Ofosu-Kwakye released a statement. Resolve it both. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying it.
But no second.
I don't want to miss anywhere. And I quote, Ghana today, we are complaining that this gambling is destroying our youth. I've read a number of articles on this. But I thought that the government will come out with a policy to restrict gambling and to even ban it, he said. And this was a quotation attributed to you, Honorable Nominee. I want to ask and proceed on this. Do you still stand by this position of banning gambling and banning betting and all that in its entirety, or now your position has changed? That's what I wanted to ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think it's a very good question and it's an opportunity for me to clarify. Mr. Chairman, I was on a show with the Honorable Kudo Okon-Nkrumah, and the contest must come out. The Honorable Kudo Okon-Nkrumah, at the time Minister of Information, I'm sure, had the responsibility to sell a government policy on betting. And he said, I'm surprised when I bring that portion. He said that betting tax is being implemented because it is destroying our youth, and that the government is introducing this betting tax he said the government is introducing this betting tax to deter them, equivalent to a sin tax, so that they will not be staking the bet. I retorted on a show being hosted by Evans Mensah on Joy FM PM Express. I retorted by saying that will not solve the problem. That will not solve the problem because I've read a number of articles, and the article presupposes or suggests that it is destroying our youth. And And so if you want to introduce a tax, you have to first look at the elasticities, and as to whether the elasticities will mean that imposing such a tax will prevent the individual or the people concerned from the staking of the VAT, of the betting or not. But I doubt that will. And so if you intend doing that, the best option is to ban it and not to introduce a tax. And I said the tax will not solve the problem. Here we are today, have been vindicated. Has the tax solved the problem as intended by the government? Ignore. I insist that that tax must be abolished. And as Minister of Finance, my first budget, I will abolish the betting tax. Thank you.
Thank you very much, We don't do that in Parliament. We say we are here. The next person is Honorable Mahama.
I thought somebody was my friend, and I was given an opportunity to ask a question. And she started heckling me even before I've asked the question. Congratulations, my leader. My real question was to ask you how prepared you are to deal with the multitude of economic challenges confronting Ghana. But after listening to you within these few minutes, I thought it wise to abandon the question. Because even before asking, you have made a case demonstrating your readiness and preparedness to confront the problems of Ghana with great expertise and finesse than we have seen in the past. So I have a few questions focusing on what my brother and former majority leader and non-minority leader raised in his thesis that we read before we started. It's very beautiful. Thesis of non-member continues. Proceed. Number one, will you abolish the e-levy?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my position on the e-levy is well known. I do not intend to run from it. I've written articles against the e-levy. I champion opposition against the e-levy. I still stand by them. Mr. Chairman, the e-levy is neither a direct tax, indirect tax, or an excise tax. I don't know how to classify the e-levy as a tax practitioner. Mr. Chairman, it doesn't mean that I do not recognize that the e-levy brings in certain revenue. But the fact remains that the e-levy retards